I'm Debbie Godfrey. Welcome to the Positive Parenting Pep Talks podcast.
So, for today and the next few days, I'm going to talk about helping kids with change or transitions. And some kids can handle transitions a little well, and most kids have a difficult time with transitions. So, what are some of the common transitions that we make within our families? Sometimes moving to a new house, even a new city or a state or a country. These are transitions for our kids. The birth of a sibling is a huge transition for a child. The death of a pet or a family member, a grandparent. A divorce, that's a big transition for kids. Going to a new school is a transition. Having a friend move away. I remember when my daughter Bree was like 6, one of her very best friends moved away, and it was such a huge impact on her. She really had a difficult time with that. A long-term or severe illness in the family is a transition. A relative moving in with the family, that can be a big transition. And going from kindergarten to first grade, from elementary to middle school, and from middle school to high school, all of these are transitions. So we want to look at how each individual child handles transitions, because they'll vary and they'll all be different. And when we're going through transitions, we want to make sure that we handle it in a way that's appropriate for this child. So first I'm going to go through some factors to take into account no matter what the transition is. The first one is to know our child's temperament. There's 9 traits, and we've talked about those on previous pep talks. And it's important for all of us parents to understand that how the 9 traits affect our child and combine to make our child the person that they are. And some of the temperament traits that are greater predictors of behavior than others are, for example, children who are cautious will take a longer time to warm up to new situations and to make friends. Children who are slow to adapt will have a harder time when their ideal picture of how things should be changes, such as during a death or a divorce. Children with a short amount of persistence and a low ability to tolerate frustration experience separation anxiety much more deeply and for a longer period of time than the quote norm. Children with a high intensity will handle their transitions, but will definitely let you know about it, and loudly too. Children who are higher in sensitivity might express their feelings about the transition by whining or complaining about everything not being right. Children love routine, so the more that one thing is changing, the more you need to make sure that everything else stays the same. If you're moving, pack up their toys or special belongings last. Take these boxes with you in the car and make sure you unpack them as soon as you arrive in your new house. This helps the child feel a sense of order and permanency about the move. I remember when my kids were really little, when I first got divorced, they were 1, 2, and 6. And I was just determined to provide them with a stable school experience so that I knew I was going to be moving, and I knew I had a lot of changes going on. And I thought if I could put them in school and keep them in the same school throughout all of my transitions, that it would help them. And so I was working in Ventura, even though I was living in Camarillo at the time, and I put them in school in Ventura near my work, because then I had really close access to them during my work hours. And I just planned to try to move as close as I could to their school and their preschool. They were adjacent to each other. And it took me 3 moves in a year and a half, but I finally moved into the same neighborhood where the school was so that I could reach my goal, which was to be able to walk my kids to school every day. And that to me was something that I provided for them that allowed them to have routine and consistency, which was so important for them through the big changes that I was putting them through, which were, included moving and divorce. So tomorrow I'm going to continue with this talk about the things to consider with our children before we talk about some ways to handle transitions better. Have a great day. Happy parenting.
Thank you so much for joining me here at the Positive Parenting Pep Talks podcast. I assume you're here because you're getting something out of these daily pep talks. And wouldn't it be great if more parents could hear more about these ideas for their children? And you can help me in a great way by liking the episodes, by sharing them on your social media, and especially by providing a review on your platform of choice. So if you could do me a huge favor and do that, it would really help get this out to many, many, many more parents. And we can all help our children feel more seen, heard, and understood, which is my life's work, is to make sure that all children feel loved and appreciated and that we can discipline them without breaking their spirit. So I hope that you've enjoyed these podcasts and will continue to enjoy them. And I really appreciate any support you can give me here at Positive Parenting Pep Talks. Thank you so much. Have a great day and happy parenting.